Hello, this is Lori from To Live as Christ in Action and Truth. Today I'm here to talk about Jesus. There are all sorts of people in this world who don't really give Jesus a thought in their day. They don't think about God. They don't think about going to church or praying or reading their Bible or what it might mean to realize that God is real and that Jesus is really out there. And I wanted today to tell you my story about how I came to my own realization about Jesus and answer the question that I ask here. So, you think you don't need Jesus? So, I was raised as a good little Christian in a Christian home, went to church every Sunday, was told all of the stories and all the songs, and knew who Jesus was from a very young age. And for a lot of my early life, I just believed everything because it's what I was told. And then in my teenage years, in my early 20s, I had met someone who challenged my faith and told me that I leaned too much on it. And he told me that he bet I couldn't go a night without praying. He bet that I couldn't stop leaning on my faith. And he told me that that's not what I should be doing. I shouldn't be going to church every Sunday, and challenged me to look at it in a different way. Now, being the young, independent person that I was, I thought, I can go a night without praying to Jesus. I can, stop going to church. I don't need to lean on this. I bet I can show him that he's wrong. So I stopped. And literally the first night that I stopped praying, I cried. I cried my eyes out because it didn't feel right to me. There was something wrong. And, but I still did it. And I kept going, and I didn't go to church. I didn't read my Bible. I didn't pray anymore, and I stopped. Around that same time frame, I had this amazing teacher who talked to the entire class about how at some point in our lives, each and every one of us need to take everything that we've been given and everything we've been taught and kind of unpack it. And you look at it, observe it, and think, okay, I was taught this. This is good. This is wonderful. I want to hold on to this. This is what I think is true. And you set it over here. And then you take this. And these are the things that you think, this is terrible. I don't know why anyone ever thinks this way. And you pitch it and you throw it in the garbage and you don't believe that way anymore. And find out what you believe and why you believe it and really know that from inside of you. And so, shortly after having heard that in college, my mom invited me to her church. They had moved to a new place, and there was a church around the corner, and she'd been going there. And I went a time or two, and it didn't really mean a whole lot. I just went because my mom asked me to. And then one Sunday, the pastor did a sermon about how when we die, if Christians are wrong about God and about believing in all these things that they devote their lives to, they haven't lost out on anything. But if an unbeliever dies and they were wrong, then they've missed out on everything. And while this didn't really make me start believing in Jesus anymore or start fully understanding it myself, it led me to investigate God and the Bible and Jesus and decide for myself and take all of that information and unpack it and decide, okay, what is this? What is this information about Jesus? Who is he? Do I believe that this is what he really did? And unpack it. And the more that I started to do that, the more that I felt like I just felt the presence of God. And I felt this love and this peace that I cannot describe and I cannot explain it any other way but knowing that it is God, that God is there, he is real. And Jesus is there and he is real. And this Bible that we study, even though it's ages and ages old, still applicable and has a purpose in these days, in these times. And so Can you live without Jesus? Yes, absolutely you can. People live without Jesus every single day. I lived without Jesus for at least that portion of my life. And I could still breathe. I was just fine. I didn't need Jesus to survive, but my life was not what it is now. I was not who I am now. Camera problems. This is a good recording. I can't put that out. Oops. Shit. Okay. So sure, yes, you can live without Jesus. But let me ask you this. If there's a chance that this is real, if there's a chance that there really is a God who created everything that we can see, who created every bit of you, who gave us all a different print on our eye, a different print on our finger, a different mind, different thought process than every other individual person out there, if he created you when you were still inside of your mother's stomach, if he knows every thought that comes into your mind, if he knows everything that you've done and he still loves you, if this God gave his son so that he could die for you, because none of us ever will, because all of us fall short. We all fail on a daily basis, and Jesus was offered as our sacrifice. What if that's true? If it is, wouldn't it warrant looking into it a little more? Wouldn't it warrant trying to step foot into a church and see what you think about what they're teaching? Now, don't get me wrong here, because some churches you walk into aren't going to be teaching what the Bible actually says. Some of them are really not accurate. And then some people who think that they're Christians really don't understand what's in the Bible. So, in order to really figure out if it's real and what is true, you have to look into it for yourself. So, you think you do need Jesus? You think you don't need Jesus? That's up to you. And I think that you'll find the answer. Thank you.